and welcome to Rolling with Two. I'm Will, and with me as always is the person with the fine pedigree,
Sarah.
And today we're doing a two-player perspective and accessibility for Spots. Sarah, tell us a bit about this game.
All right, Spots is a push your luck card and dice game. On your turn, you'll choose a trick tile with actions, roll and place dice onto dog cards. Now, dice you can't place get buried in your yard. Bury too many dice and you bust. The player that completes 6 dogs first wins. All right, Will, so how does the game change for 2 players?
There are no changes for 2 players. Nope. There's no nanobot.
Nope.
So, yeah, he can just sit there and be a nanobone.
It's all about the dogs.
Yes.
So our issues for a 2-player don't exist.
No.
We couldn't find anything wrong with this as a 2-player experience. In fact, what it does very well is it's just very tactical, going back and forth between the 2 players, and you can even, strategize a little over, well, if I'm fine with either of these tiles left, but this one's worse for my opponent, so I'll take the other one. And I'm not sure you could do that kind of thing necessarily.
No, because
in a higher player count.
Well, even in a 2-player, when you get down to the most minimum you have between choices between tiles is 2.
That's true.
Once it gets down to 1, your tiles get reset.
Right.
It gets a bone meeple. Those are freaking cute.
Yes.
And then all the other tiles get flipped up.
That's true. So you can never really trap your opponent into a tile that would be completely bad for them.
Yeah, you can get them down to the 2 tiles they probably don't want.
Yes, probably the 2 worst choices, but they would still have a choice.
Yeah.
So otherwise, this is a really good experience at 2 players.
Yes.
So accessibility challenges are also non-existent that I could figure any. I mean,
You thought there was one.
I did. So when I was looking at the
Tiles.
the trick tiles,
They have ribbons, and it has that flowery part at the top of a
Yes.
ribbon, like a reward, best in show type of thing.
that type of thing.
Yeah.
I thought they were only color differentiation, which I thought was bad because one of them's like a darker blue and one of them's a purple, and there was a teal as well. And so I was like, oh, this is not so good. I mean, are people going to have problems with the orange and the yellow? Because sometimes there's issues there. And then I started actually physically holding the tiles next to each other. And I noticed that the ribbon around on each of them was slightly differently shaped. So the yellow one, I believe, is like really pokey, like the sun. And so each of them has a slightly different shape. So the color matches the shape. So they double coated. Really great. Not something I would necessarily expect from a small, light, casual card game, because a lot of those that are made for that real mass market don't usually take...
Don't even bother.
They don't bother. They're like, enough people are going to buy it. What do they care? But it's great. It's double coated, and I think it's fantastic.
And that's important because for setup, they say use the 2 orange tiles. That's going to be Howl and Rollover. Those are tricks that are... Oh, the tricks are... all dog tricks.
Yes,
so
that's why they're tricks.
Howl and Rollover are always played. As for the remaining 4, you use 1 of each of the other colors, so the colors are important.
Right, because it's for setup.
Yeah.
Now, the good news is they do have recommended setups in the back. So that's what I was going to point out, is even if you can't tell the difference between the colors, you could always use one of the 6, I believe, recommended setups in the back. But you can now just do completely random. I mean, honestly, the fact that there's multiple trick tiles is still blowing me away because, again, it's a light, casual game. They didn't need to think about replayability, but they did.
Yes.
So that's also just really smart game design.
Yes.
So sorry, we're talking about accessibility, but that's also part of it is just the replayability is great. So all the graphic design is simple. It's clean. Even though on the dog cards the dogs are black and white, and on the side where you're still building or adding dice to them, they do have red outlines, but they're so distinct that even if you had trouble with red and black, because there's black dots and there's the red die outline, I think you can still see it well enough that it's a distinct. You know what section has a die face on it versus just random spots on the dog.
I think there is one issue, and this is a big stretch. The instructions are very heavily reliant on pictures.
That is true.
Instructing you how to play the game.
Yes. The good news is the game is relatively simple.
Yes.
But it does have a lot of good examples.
Yes.
I will say. So it kind of balances that out. But the first 3 pages are like a picture overview. like it's a picture book. It's like a picture book.
A dog has spots. Dice have spots.
spots.
Dice go on dogs. It's like, okay.
It really feels
Where's
like
this going? This is cute, though.
Yeah, because it really feels like they're doing a picture book at that point to really emphasize the cuteness of this.
Yes.
Did I say open information? If I didn't, the whole game is open information. So if you do have any issues with anything, someone else can help you. But honestly, this is really well designed for accessibility.
Yes.
So conclusion.
So for 2 players, would you recommend spots?
Absolutely.
Yes, I would recommend those little spots being put on all. I don't actually understand what point we're playing in this whole.
Okay,
row.
so don't think too hard about the theme. Just think cute dogs, fun dice, good time.
Yes, and dog meeples.
And the dog bone meeples.
Accessibility.
Oh, totally. Like I said, I wasn't expecting the accessibility that they built in, but I'm so happy they did. I mean, I give kudos to them for doing something that a lot of game companies don't do for bigger games that they should do.
Yeah, the only thing this game could do even better is if they made it so the dog cards were tactile with raised spaces so you can
That would
feel.
be really hard to shuffle.
It would be. But that would probably be the only way this game could get any more accessible
gotcha.
than what it is. Because otherwise, it's one of the examples I would hold up to. If you want to make a good accessible game, look at spots.
Yep. Because it doesn't have to be complicated.
No.
At all. Alrighty.
All right, Sarah, out of all the various different dogs, did you find one cuter than the rest?
Not that I can remember their names, but I think I really had fun with the trios when they had 3 dogs on one card, because they usually had really fun not thematic, but
They
connected.
kind of connected names.
Yeah, the
that played.
names would connect together. So I think that was one of my favorites.
That's cute.
Yep.
All right. And why would you ever roll with just one when you can be rolling with 2? And remember, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can reach out to us on the various social media platforms at
Rolling with 2. That's TWO. We are on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And on YouTube, please like and subscribe.
And if you have time, check out the other content Nanaman has found for you, because remember, he's rolling with you.